Last week, the James Beard Foundation announced their list of semifinalists for the prestigious food awards. And Las Vegas had its best showing yet, a record 14 nominations. So today on CityCast Las Vegas, I sit down with Eric Gladstone, founder of the restaurant PR group Feast of Friends, to discuss the nominations and what this means for our city. It's Wednesday, January 28th. I'm Sonja Cho Swanson, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. So, Eric, if Michelin is like the Oscars of the food world, then what are the James Beard Awards, the JBF Awards?
Well, that's a good question. People usually call the James Beard Awards the Oscars. I would say maybe
Michelin's not the
Michelin
Oscars?
is like maybe they're like the Golden Globes, since that's the international version.
Okay, fair. Well, I guess in terms of like prestige, do you feel like they kind of stack up differently? Are the JBF Awards more prestigious, Michelin more prestigious?
Michelin is certainly more prestigious than really anything specifically because it's worldwide and because they were really the first to set such high standards.
Sure. It's an older award too, right? It's been around for decades, whereas...
Over 100 years.
Yeah. And James Beard Awards have been around for something like 10 to 15 years. Is that right?
I think James Beard is more like 30 years.
Oh, okay.
Roughly. I'd have to check on that, but yeah.
Okay.
It's more like 30 years. They've both been around for a while, but James Beard is only America and Michelin is worldwide. And so that's certainly the platinum standard, one would say, among most chefs.
Okay. And this year, Vegas did honestly really well. Let's shout out some of these nominations, including some that you represent. Congratulations, Eric.
Thank you.
Do you want to start off with some of those? Tell us who you are representing, who has been nominated.
Well, we work with, obviously, Esther's Kitchen and James Trees, and also Ada's, who are nominated in the wine category for Outstanding Wine Program. But really, the whole list is very impressive. This year, I have to say that it's very much a list of people who are absolutely deserving of the attention.
Yeah, for sure. Were there any surprises for you out of curiosity?
Well, the surprise was that there were so many, to be honest. None of them you would look at and say, well, how did they get on this list? And I have to be candid. I have to be candid. On occasion in previous years, no names, but there were a few where it was just like, Really?
Wait. In the sense of like, they were maybe like not the quality that you would have expected to make it on the list?
Of all of the choices that one could make, there were a few that might have given pause in the past to say, was this really the most outstanding among our group in previous years?
Any hints, Eric? Any hints? Can you drop a little subtle hint for our listeners?
No, I'm not gonna be dramatic like that. But I think there were some places on the Strip, and there were places that maybe, I think if you go back and look at the lists and then look at them in perspective now, most people would agree, maybe this wasn't a great choice, As far as our clients, James, and getting it for Bar Bohème in particular this year is really a great surprise because it's such a passion project for him. And Ada's also, having just moved from Tivoli to the Arts District and been getting all of this recognition for their wine program. This is just another really great step for them. So we're very, very honored. Both were absolutely surprises. James was surprised the first year when it happened as well. Obviously, I think they're worthy, but I think everyone on the list is worthy, in all honesty. It's a great list.
I got to shout out a surprise for me, not because I don't think it was excellent, but because I was surprised they got the recognition, was Calabash African Kitchen.
Yes.
And you had actually highlighted them at Vegas Unstripped. That's where I first tasted their food, was at Vegas Unstripped. Was it 2 years ago, I think, that you brought them on first?
It was 23.
23, okay. So, yeah.
I appreciate you noting that. We're really proud of them. Chef Oulé is fantastic, and it's really great to see the attention she's getting. She got attention from the Review Journal as well since then.
Chef Oulé Fisher, nominated for Best Chef Southwest.
Yes, I would say that was a surprise. And I'll tell you what else was really great. So I texted all of the chefs I think all of the chefs. I hope so. And congratulated all of them because many of them have participated in Unstripped in the past.
Sure.
And we're all friends.
Which is your incredible food festival that takes place every year off the strip, hence Unstripped.
It does. April 26th this year. We just dropped tickets. Shameless plug. But I texted Chef Oulet and I said, congratulations. And she texted me back about 6 hours and said, I just landed in New York back from Africa. Why are you congratulating me? Oh. So I got to be the one to share the news, which was really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what are some of the categories that Vegas chefs, restaurants, restaurateurs have been nominated within? What are some of these categories?
Well, the main one was Best Chef Southwest, which includes Nevada, I believe Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Arizona, if I'm correct.
That's right.
So it's definitely an interesting region. Then there is, in the beverage category, I think the category is technically Outstanding Wine and Other Beverages Program. We have Ada's being nominated. We also have Marina Mercer at the Wynn being nominated, and she is certainly deserving of this.
And Nocturno also.
And Nocturno.
Newcomer in the Arts District from Chef DJ Flores of Milpa fame, of course.
Yes. Their program is everyone. I think everyone that I've talked to that's a bartender is blown away by their program. Their program is so expansive and so dedicated. You can't help but not be impressed by what they're doing there.
Yeah.
So all three are very worthy. And then Elizabeth Blau got recognized as a restaurateur, and that is certainly a feather in our cap. She is certainly an icon in Las Vegas, culinary.
And the astounding restaurateur is kind of the idea of not just someone who works with their hands, like, on a knife and in the food, but someone who kind of runs the operations side of a business, who kind of understands how a business needs to run, how it needs to function. Is that right?
I would assume so. It encompasses everything. And it's very important for diners and just kind of food fans to understand that it's not just about a chef cooking a good food. And that may be self-evident. And obviously, someone's got to mop the floors and turn on the lights and set the tables and serve the food and all that stuff. But none of that stuff is easy either. All of that stuff takes a lot of thought and a lot of consideration. And there's so much that goes into the full restaurant experience. You know?
Like, do you retain staff? Do you keep staff morale up? Do you have, good procurement and sourcing of ingredients? And does your silverware,
exactly.
Actually feel nice in your hand? Like all these details, of course, for sure. There was another category that I thought was really unique, and it was not the Outstanding Wine or Other Beverages program. It was Outstanding Professional in Beverage Service. And that nomination went to someone named Bank Acharawan.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Jipata, which is apparently like a new Thai restaurant in Vegas. I didn't actually know that existed. That was a surprise for me because I had not heard about this place.
It's a little new. And yes, I mean, Bank started his career, I believe, at Lotus of Siam, actually. And he helped to develop their wine program, which got them so much acclaim early on. And then he moved on to Lamai. And it's a very long list of restaurants that he has. So he's had sort of sequential restaurants. He seems to keep opening and then moving on for whatever reason. So yeah, Japata is his newest, and I've heard it's fantastic. I haven't been there yet, but he is certainly one of the best wine people in the city in terms of his knowledge and his passion for wine. So he's also very deserving.
Amazing.
It's great to see that, as I said before, not only that we've got lots of people being recognized, but they're the right people, you know?
Oh, and I got to shout out one more name. We're not going to get to the whole list, obviously, but for Best New Chef, I think the nomination
Emerging
is...
Chef.
Emerging Chef, thank you.
Emerging.
Best whippersnapper.
Cocoon or something.
Youngin' chef, emerging chef Ellie Parker from Main Street Provisions got a nomination in that category, which is doubly cool because she also just won the Hell's Kitchen show.
How amazing for her, right? What a great week she's having.
I know, right?
I mean, the pride of the Arts District right now, right? She's just done an incredible job at Main Street provisions, and the only kind of bittersweet part is that apparently she now has to go work at
Oh,
Hell's Kitchen in Connecticut. So that's a little tragic.
yeah,
We
yeah.
shouldn't also leave out, as long as we're mentioning everything, that
Oh, yeah.
Tamba, the amazing Indian restaurant in Town Square, also got the nod for best new restaurant. So we really hit a bunch of different categories.
Yes, yes. Still on my list to go eat, by the way.
Oh yeah, you have to check it out.
I know, I know. So I guess what happens next then? When do we find out about finalists or winners? Is it a few months away or how long do we have?
It's a few months away. I think it's something like 12 weeks. Again, I'm not exact on that. I'm not a James Beard expert per se. And we also got Milkfish mentioned in the outstanding bakery category. We
Yes.
should leave them out.
Which is actually very cool because they started as a pop up. So, I mean, talk
They
about
still
like
are a pop up.
scrappy. Oh my God, they're
I
still a
think they
pop up?
still are.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So scrappy. I love it.
Yeah. That's really remarkable. So it does feel like finally, after so many years of hard work trying to get this city recognized, that we're finally breaking through a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So has Vegas ever won? I mean, we've won a small handful of actual finalists, actual winners of James Beard Awards. Do any of them come to mind for you?
We've won finalists a few times, including James Trees, but it's been a very long time since we've actually taken home an award. I think the last one was either Saipan from Lotus of Siam or it might have been Bradley Ogden,
Oh,
depending on the
old school,
category. Yeah,
different
going
era.
going very far back. It's definitely
Yeah.
been a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could this be the year, Eric? Are you going to play some bets for us?
I'm not much of a bettor. I do think that the odds are very strong that something's going to happen.
Okay.
Just numbers alone. I think we're definitely going to get some finalists. I think that's just
Yeah.
undeniable.
I mean, with 14 nominees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It is hard to say because, the scene out there is very healthy in a lot of cities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard to say, but I do think we're going to get some finalists, and I feel pretty good about it this year.
Good,
I
good.
do think a lot of our restaurants are really just doing a fantastic job right now.
Yeah, yeah. Although we're getting some surprising competition from Oklahoma, which had me raising my eyebrows. I was like, Oklahoma's got a little showing in here too. So, okay, Oklahoma. It's funny, Eric, because we actually had you on the podcast a couple of years ago to talk about why National Food Awards actually ignore Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But this year we just had such an incredible showing. Is this a sign to you that things are changing?
Well, yes, it has to be, right? Because we've had 50 Best here, and then they even came back for a special event
this is
last
the 50
year.
world's 50 best restaurants.
Yes. So I think that I think them coming here made a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Big event, big convention, Yep.
It was incredible, right? And we got to interact with some of the best talent in the entire world, and they saw what we were doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't turn their nose up. They were impressed in kind, which was really fantastic. Now we've got Michelin coming back, which I think is going to be very interesting. It's very hard to predict how that's going to turn out, but just the fact that they're coming back, I think, makes everyone sort of get on their toes a little bit more. We also have Star Chefs doing a special feature right now in Vegas. They have been in town off and on since November, and they're preparing a special issue on Vegas. So that's something that the industry, all of these organizations are independent, but they all look at each other and they all see what each other is doing. And I think once one pays a little bit of attention to a scene, the other ones sort of go, well, why are they paying attention to it? Maybe we missed something,
Sniffing something in the water. Yeah. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like the talent has always been here in Vegas or has been here for quite a while. It's just that we didn't have the eyes on it up until more recently, right? And so I feel like we're finally starting to get more of the eyes.
A little bit, yes. I think the talent has always been here. I agree. I don't know if the confidence was always here because I think we've always felt under the shadow of not just the Strip, but other cities. And I think the way we communicate now has given our restaurants a lot more confidence to express themselves that we didn't have in years past, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the leading chefs like James, like Yuri, like Brian Howard, and Jamie Tran for that matter, and I could go on,
Sure.
have given other people the confidence to really stand their ground in a way and say, well, this is what I want to do. This is my expression. I'm going to stand behind what I'm creating.
Yeah, not just sort of blindly following like the trends of LA or New York, right?
Exactly. And that's what I think, that's what you need to do. If you really want to, make a difference and make a mark, you got to take that risk and you've got to be who you are.
Interesting. I'm glad you mentioned Michelin with a kind of like a, like this could be interesting kind of pause there. Because we actually had on the podcast, John Curtis and Lorraine Blanco Moss talking about the Michelin Guide.
Yeah, I heard that.
Right. And we had that debate over how important Michelin actually is. Do you think that the JBF Awards are, as maybe John Curtis hints about Michelin, or doesn't even hint, he says outright about Michelin, are similarly overrated, or are they different somehow?
Well, John loves to have an opinion or two.
He is our
sometimes
resident
at
curmudgeon.
the same time, right?
Yeah.
Awards will always be sniffed at a little bit, and these in particular, and they have evolved over the years. And James Beard has definitely changed their criteria a little bit in recent years. They're very, very focused not just on is the food good, but are people really running for lack of a better word, a righteous organization? Are they doing things in the right way and for the right reasons? And that is tricky territory. I certainly understand the inspiration behind it, but it's tricky territory. People grow up, they want to make great food. That's the priority, and getting into all the other stuff it's just a little murky. But having said that, I don't think anyone would be mad at having a James Beard Award. I don't think anyone's going to turn it down or say no thank you. It's not like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And same for Michelin. I don't think anyone who got a Michelin nod, would be a big gourmand or a 1-star or any amount of stars, would say no thank you.
Well, there have been a few famous instances and, here and there of the occasional maybe high-minded chef artiste who's turned down a Michelin star, but they are few and far between.
And the reason that they do that is because it brings with it such a heavy weight of expectation, and it locks them into doing things in a certain way. So that I can understand. James Beard doesn't necessarily have quite as much weight in that respect. Yeah.
Okay. So in some ways, the fact that it's slightly less prestigious than Michelin actually works in the favor of chefs by not locking them into a certain maybe kind of, constrained box of pressure.
And it's also not a guarantee of anything. Unfortunately, I've seen chefs and restaurateurs win James Beard Awards and be out of business in a couple of years, for whatever reasons. It's doesn't solve all your problems.
Yeah. Well, what do you think the James Beard Awards actually do? Like, why do they matter to Las Vegas, and what do they do for our city?
Well, I think they matter to Las Vegas because Las Vegas has really struggled so hard to get recognized as a whole city scene. And I think whoever wins from this city or whoever gets finalist nominations from this city, it helps everyone in this city. And I think we all feel that way. We're really a great community in that respect. How does it help them? It brings attention to the whole city, to be able to see, well, this city has this many James Beard Awards. People use these statistics in different ways. If a city doesn't have that recognition or the city's being overlooked by Michelin or something like that, there's a lot of people who are very committed diners who will say, well, that, they'll just assume that the city must not have anything decent if it doesn't rate for those reasons.
Right.
It sounds ridiculous, but certainly it affects people's decisions.
Sure. I can imagine too. I mean, people are also just busy, right? They don't have time to do all the legwork that maybe some of the more food obsessive people like you or I, Eric, might do when traveling to a new city. And so they turn to like the experts like, the restaurant reviews and the awards. Exactly. Right. And so this is a really easy entry point to help people find the best of the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Excited to see the results of the awards in a few weeks, Eric. And thanks again for coming on CityCast Las Vegas.
Thank you very much, Sonja. It was great to talk to you.
All right, that's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, hey, go tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. Don't forget, you can support this show and get some great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care.